Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Courtside Talks. My name is Stef, and today we got a very hot topic. We're talking about the naturalization of U.S. players into European national teams. In basketball, of course. Now, before we get started with the topic, let me ask you one thing. Have you subscribed to the channel? If not, do so right now. And like this video because you're gonna love it. Now today, what's going on? We got the European qualifiers for the European national teams for the European tournament coming up, and it's starting today with a bunch of games to be played. And then what's going on is one by one national teams are deciding to naturalize American players into their squads. And throughout the comments on each and every social network, you can see that a lot of people aren't really happy with the naturalization of American players. Now, why I'm saying American is because the 99% are American and the rest are, I don't know, something else. And once we get into the topic, my question for starters would be, what makes a player play for the national team? Is it the citizenship? Is it the descent, the origins, the language they know how to speak, the family they have living in that country? What is it that makes a player of a certain nationality? Now, for Europe, when we're talking about Europe, there are certain things that define you or can define your nationality. That's why we can tell each other apart just by saying our names out loud. We know where somebody can be from, and it's usually not a mistake. So for example, if your name or last name is ending in IC, that probably means that you're somewhere from the Balkan area. Jokic, Doncic, Vucevic, Bogdanovic, Antic. If your last name perhaps has an umlaut or two dots over the letters A, O, or U and ends with ER, you're probably somewhere from Germany, Austria, or Switzerland. If it ends with Sancho or Perez or Aguilar or something like that, you're probably from Spain. And if it ends with Eli or Ucci, you're probably from Italy, like Bellinelli, Petrucci, Bonucci. And if it has the SZ, SZ, or CZ or something like that, you're probably from Hungary, the Czech Republic, or Poland. Or if their last name is Spanoulis, Sferopoulos, Papadopoulos, their first name is Yanis, or something like that, they're probably from Greece. Or if their last name ends with Oglu, for example like Turkoglu or Mahmutoglu, they're from Turkey, for sure. So you see where I'm getting to. It's kind of easy to tell where somebody's from just by listening to their name and last name, yet alone the language they speak. But that just counts for Europe and perhaps Asia. But if you go to some of those countries where a lot of people migrated to, like Canada or America, you can't really tell where somebody's from, especially if they speak English, for example, like me. And then you have a lot of people playing for the Canadian national team or the American national team while their origins are in fact somewhere else. In example, let me give you three situations for Pat Ewing, Hakeem Olajuwon, and the current Joel Embiid. Now, Pat Ewing is not necessarily from the US, even though he played for the US. He's from Jamaica. And Hakeem Olajuwon, guess what? Also not from the US. He's from Nigeria. Joel Embiid? Well, it depends. He can either be from Cameroon or France, but he decided to play for the US. But unlike America and Canada, where it actually makes sense because somebody really grew up there so he can play for that national team, when you bring US players, and I'm saying US because 99 of the players that come to play basketball on another national team are US origin, it doesn't really make sense to me. And there are gazillion examples, and that I think started, let's say, 20 years ago. But let's see what the actual reason for that is. Do you want your national team to be better by bringing an American player to play? Well, in most cases, that is the scenario they want. If we bring an American player on the point guard or shooting guard position, we will get better play, better chemistry, better competition, as they say in the national teams, and we'll get a better result. Did they? Not really. There are only some cases where you actually got a good result due to that exact player. But why is it then the national teams bring American players and naturalize them to be from their own country? Well, sometimes it depends on the regulation of that country itself. Sometimes for the American player to play in a national club, the country only gives you a permission to, let's say, bring 4 foreign players that are not from that country to play in the cup, and then you have to give the citizenship to the American player in order for him to be eligible to play in that cup, which is the case of Kevin Punter from Partizan. He previously played for Crvena Zvezda, and that's when he got his citizenship, the Serbian citizenship. Even though my bro doesn't know 3 words of Serbian, he still became a Serbian. But then again, nobody put him in the national team, even if some people were like, hey, maybe we should consider that option. No. I'm not for that. I'm never going to be for that. You play with what you got. If what you got is not good enough, well, tough luck. Too bad. You'll be better someday. But don't take cheat codes out of other countries just for your nation to get a result. I just think that it's spitting on your own nation, saying, all right, you guys are complete shit. So me, as the government of the country, I'm just going to take somebody from the outside and bring them to our national squad because you guys are probably not worth it. And if you put that into perspective, a lot of national teams are turning into clubs, being like, okay, you start with 1, you bring 1 player to the national team, and then what stops you from bringing all 5 of them? And then you end up eventually just being a squad of American players playing for a different flag, which they have no connection with, which they have no origins with, in which they don't have family, they never went to school here, they don't have friends from here, and they don't even know the language. Sad. So that brings me to my question. What does a player have to be in the national team of a country? Does his family have to be from there? Does he have to know the language, the tradition, the origins? So as the European qualifiers are coming up right now today, let me bring up all the US players that play for different national teams, except for one, which comes from Canada. So because there are a lot of players currently doing that, I got myself a list, and I'm just going to read the names out, and they're going to pop up on the screen along with the players, and you can see who's playing for who and tell me if any of this makes sense. Brian Dunstan, playing currently for Virtus Bologna, is going to play for Armenia. Dallas Moore is Albanian, apparently. JC Carroll, that used to play for Real Madrid, is from Azerbaijan. Also, for Azerbaijan, Zach Lede will be playing in the current qualifications. Then we got, watch this, Alex Renfro playing for Bosnia and Herzegovina. Cody Miller-McIntyre, currently playing for the Bulgarian national team. Jaylene Smith for Croatia, a member of the Partizan team. Cody Miller-McIntyre played for Partizan and currently playing for Baskonia. Then we got Blake Schilb, used to play for the Czech Republic, but then again, his wife is kind of Czech, so that kind of makes sense, but not really, because that guy has nothing to do with the Czech Republic apart from having a wife over there. Now watch this one. Nick Weiler-Bab, playing for Bayern Munich, is going to play for the German national squad. Now, keep in mind, Weiler-Bab, Weiler is a German name, so this guy, even though born and raised in Texas and went to school over there in the States and probably never saw Germany until 2022 when he got his citizenship, comes from a German descent. So somebody in his family, I didn't really Google who, was German. Now that gives kind of him permission to be in the German squad, you could say. I don't know. Then we got, watch this, Tyler Dorsey, Thomas Walkup, playing for Greece. Now, Greece, which has amazing players. Now, when I say amazing, truly amazing players, along with 2-time NBA MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo. You guys bring some 2 Americans up like, hey, we need these guys for our national team. Do you really need those guys, or do you not have good enough players? I think you do, and I would like anybody from Greece to respond in the comment section whether they are for or against Thomas Walker playing in the quals right now. Then we got Tyrese Rice, Omar Cook, Tyler Rochesty playing for Montenegro. None of these guys, I swear to God, could even find Montenegro on the map if you gave them a map of Europe. But they're all playing for Montenegro. Continuing on. Lester Boma Caleb, you might remember him from the Partizan. He's a point guard, a very, very good point guard, maybe even one of the best point guards to ever play in Partizan, especially by my opinion. He played for Macedonia at the time. It was called former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia. Now it's called North Macedonia. Anyway, he played back in the day with Pero Antic, and they won, I think, third place in the European Championship, which is the only case I know where some American played for a national team and actually won something. African American in Macedonia, anyway. Then we got Slovenia, Mike Toby, a typical Slovenian name and last name. Why they brought Mike Toby onto the Slovenian national squad, I have no clue. That guy doesn't even know where Slovenia is. Probably does right now because he plays for Crvena Zvezda, and it's just like our neighbor. Probably to help Luka Doncic, which he himself with Goran Dragic won the European National Championship. And then we got the last two, Spain and Turkey, especially Turkey with Shane Larkin and Scotty Wilbekin, two guys with Turkish citizenship, but nothing to do with Turkey. They're both American, and I think one of the two even got revoked of his Turkish citizenship just because he didn't feel like playing for Turkey. I think it was last year or something like that. So it just comes to show that you're not really Turkish, even though you got the citizenship. They can take it away anytime. And last but not least, my favorite, Los Españoles, guys that have the brother Gasol, the Hernan Gomez brothers. They have Navarro, they have Sergio Llull, they have Rodriguez, Fernandez, they have whatever they want. And they choose, watch this, Nikola Mirotic, the IC. What I tell you before, if you have an IC, you're probably from the Balkans. Nikola Mirotic is from Montenegro. That guy is not Spanish at all. But hey, it was his decision to play for Spain, and oh well. I'll keep it like that. He played until 2017, doesn't play anymore. Then you had Serge Ibaka coming from Congo, playing for Spain, probably immigrated to Spain and then got his chance. And then you had Lorenzo Brown, which has, again, nothing to do with Spain, but he plays for Spain. And even though he's American, he really, I think, doesn't care at all. So all in all, my point would be, what makes you play for a national team? First of all, the first question is, what makes national teams want to take American players over their own talents? And you can't tell me it's going to make basketball better. It's not going to make basketball better, bro. You're just going to get people mad because they don't have their own players playing for their own country. So what if your country's bad at basketball? So what if everybody can beat you? If you're going to finish out of 52 countries in Europe, if you're going to finish 52nd, if you finish last in Europe, so what? At least you played with your own people and you gave your own people a chance. The easiest thing you can do is cook up 5 players from the NBA that are not going to make the cut for the 12 that are going to go on the Olympic Games, for example, and be like, yo, you all want to become Serbs today? You want to become Lithuanians? You want to become, like, I don't know, from Liechtenstein? So that's it. That's my question to you guys. Leave in the comment section below. Do you think that other players from different countries should be playing for your national team? Tell me where you're from. Tell me if you think so or not. Give me reasons, and hopefully we'll keep this to a minimum of American players playing for national teams in Europe. And that'll be it for today. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to like this video. And until next time, my name is Stefan, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope your team qualifies for the European Championship so we can kind of battle each other in the tournament itself. Take care and have a nice day. Bye.